Hello quilting peeps, it's Tracy here. Thank you for joining. Welcome to this episode of the Tulips Bloom quilt pattern. This episode is all about cutting your fabric and getting it prepped ready for stitching. I'm going to show you two different ways on how I cut my fabric. The first with my trusty Stripology ruler and the second with my normal straight edge ruler. Okay, so grab your pattern and first off we are going to cut some of the green. So I'm going to cut the dark green. This is the Bella Solids by Moda and it's called Amelia Green. So I'm going to use my Stripology ruler, one of my favourite bits of kit. So for this part we've got our cutting mat, my rotary cutter, which is an Alpha rotary cutter, and we've got the Stripology ruler. And we need 4-inch unfinished squares. We don't need that many of the green. I'm just going to show you how I use the Stripology for cutting out my quilt patterns. So I've refolded the fabric over. The selvage edge is at the top here. And make sure it's nice and straight. This Stripology ruler is the extra large. I use it most days. And I'm just going to whiz off this edge here. And I don't need many squares for the dark green. So they are 4-inch unfinished. I'll take that away. I'm just taking that and see how neat this is. And I'm going to open this up. The main thing when you're using this ruler is to line the fabric up against the lines on the ruler. So you'll see that there's black lines across here or white lines, depending on what colour fabric I'm using. I want to use the easiest line to follow. So I've got my rotary cutter. I click it on. Along the bottom here is where you place the rotary cutter. So I'll place that at an angle and then put it in and then straighten it up. I'm going to start at this edge. And again, I'm just going to trim the edge off there. And I'm going to go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And you're seeing that I'm keeping my hand away from the grooves that I'm sliding the rotary cutter into. So let's just remove that. Take that away. And I've got perfect 4-inch squares. If you don't have the Stripology ruler, you can use a normal ruler. This is one by Creative Grids. It's got a nice grippy finish on the underside, and I want to cut some 4-inch squares. The key thing when you're starting out is to use the ruler for measuring and getting everything in place and not the cutting mat. Well, that's what I do anyway, and that works for me. So I want to do 4-inch squares. I only need 4 for these. So you can see here I've lined up along the bottom against the ruler and down the side here. I'd already trimmed that side piece. I'm just going to go straight up here, remove that. I'm going to open this up. Move it along so you can see. I'm going to trim this end off here so I've not got any of the selvage edge, and you can see that I'm keeping the fabric in line with what's happening on the ruler. So here we're going to get this edge of the ruler, the 4 inches in, and the bottom and the top in line. And I'm just going to move it across. Line everything up. You will thank yourself later for not having wonky squares. And there we go. And that's how you do it with a normal straight edge ruler. Thank you for watching this episode. If you liked it, please press the like button and subscribe, and don't forget to share in the comments below your cutting setups.